私はエルです。行きますよ。
それが一番大切なんだよ。
言ってる意味がわからん。
です
いいから聞け。僕の話を。
Hello and welcome to another episode of DesuDesu, the Japanese study show in which we look at anime clips and the language used within in hopes of picking up cool new words, introducing a bit of grammar and sometimes even a bit of culture. Now in today's episode we have a really long yet interesting funny clip from the famous show Nichijou. It's a recommendation. I think it's really interesting. It's drawn, it's such a cute way. You'll see that in a second when I show the clip. And speaking of showing the clip, I think without too much ado, we should jump right into it because it is a rather long clip this time, and I don't think it needs much introduction. We've got two girls sitting in a classroom, they talk a bit to each other, and they have an interesting conversation. You'll see that. Let's have a look at the clip and afterwards go through it sentence by sentence and see what we can learn. Let's get into it.
いいじゃんいいじゃん、教えてよ、ユミの好きな人。どうしようかな。絶対言わないから。言ったら100万円あげるよ。ほんと？絶対だからね。たかしくん、ちょっとみんな聞いて。ユミたかしくんのことが好きなんだって。
So that's the clip, a lovely conversation between two friends in a classroom. Let's take it from the top, a lot of stuff to get through. So it starts out with...
いいじゃんいいじゃん、教えてよ、ユミの好きな人。
It starts out with a long sound, which expresses some sort of surprise that perhaps the person up until this point was not too excited about telling her little romance secrets. So it's, what's up with that? いいじゃん. That's an interesting one. いいじゃん. いい means good, and じゃん is a really short, casual slang version of じゃない, which means not to be. So いい means good, じゃない means is not. The thing about this is, come to think of it, the way that you conjugate I is you turn it into yokunai. But that's not what Japanese people do most of the time. When they want to say to someone, come on, what's the problem? Come on. Instead of saying yokunai, they say いいじゃん。いいじゃないか。いいじゃない。いいじゃありません。いいじゃん。So I think that's a good thing to just remember that way. It's almost like a set phrase. You will hear Japanese people say this a billion times in just normal conversation. いいじゃん. Come on. What's the problem? いいじゃん. It's good, isn't it? We'll be fine. いいじゃん、いいじゃん. 教えてよ. We have a verb called we have a verb called 教える, and that means to teach or to tell. So you'll notice that a lot of Japanese people, funnily enough, say, teach me what time it is when they speak English. And the reason for that is that the verb for teaching someone something and telling someone something is the same. It is 教える, to teach something. If you take that in the te form, you have a soft imperative, a soft way of asking someone to do the verb. So 教えて means tell me, teach me. And that could be about anything, the time, or it could be a language for that matter. 日本語教えて, teach me Japanese. 時間教えて, teach me the time, tell me what time it is. So 教えてよ. Here's an interesting little nuance thing you can do. If you put the yo particle on a te form, it creates the nuance of you're asking someone to do something whilst being but slightly annoyed that they're not already doing it. So it's a bit like saying in English, come on, just do the thing. So 教えて, tell me. 教えてよ, just tell me already. Come on, what's the problem? So いいじゃん、いいじゃん. Come, it's fine. 教えてよ. Just tell me. Come on, tell me. ユミの好きな人. So Yumi is the name of the character that she's speaking to. No is the possessive particle. It's like putting an S on a word. So Yumi no Yumi's 好きな人. 好き means like, to like. It's a na adjective. 好き. So when you use it, you have to put the na particle before you put whatever you like. So 好きな食べ物 means the food that you like, perhaps your favorite food. 好きな映画, the movie that you like. 好きな人. 人 means person, so 好きな人, the person that you like, perhaps romantically. So いいじゃん、いいじゃん、教えてよ. Tell me, ユミの好きな人, the person that you like, the person that you are perhaps in love with. Another interesting thing about this sentence is, compared to the normal sentence order or sentence structure, it has been flipped around. So the natural order would be to say, Yumi no sukina hito. You would probably say, 誰だか教えてよ. The thing is just, we talked about this in a previous episode. Instead of following the textbook order of the sentence, she says, the first thing she says is the first thing that she wants the other person to think about. And that is how silly it is that she hasn't already told her who her romantic little secret lover is. So we have a lot to get through, so let's move on. We talked about this in a previous episode, so you can revisit that if you want to hear more about flipping the sentence structure.
どうしようかな。
We got the again, just it's a sound, but it has that bit of a surprise feel to it. People say it when they're surprised about something. You'll hear it on TV a lot. Someone says something crazy. Oh, actually, I just buried my dog yesterday. That's crazy. Or if you, anytime you tell something crazy to someone, there'll usually be someone in the crowd reacting like, and that's what she says. どうしようかな. That's a cool phrase. So, ど means how. しよう is the volitional form of する, which means, する means to do. しよう means, かな means I wonder. So all of this put together is I wonder how I should do, or in other words, I wonder what I should do. What should I do about this little situation that I've got myself into? It's not that serious though. It's something that people say pretty casually in Japanese. So you put in a difficult situation and someone will say, どうしようかな? What should I do about this? What am I to do? How should I deal with this thing? So yeah, どう and then しようかな, どうしようかな.
絶対言わないから。
絶対言わないから. So 絶対 means definitely, absolutely. This is completely certain. 絶対. It's a really flexible word. You can use this in any situation where something is absolutely certain. 絶対できる. I can definitely do it. 絶対来ない. He's definitely not showing up. 絶対食べる. I will definitely eat. 絶対全部食べる. I'm definitely going to eat all of it. So 絶対. 絶対言わない. 言わない is the negative casual conjugation of you, which means to say. So you or 言います to say. 言わない not say. So 絶対言わない definitely not say. から means because. And here's an interesting thing that you only see in Japanese again. It means because, and it's so difficult to explain what this really tastes like. So because, see now the result of the sentence is inferred. She's not going to say the entirety of it. She says, because I'm definitely not going to say, and then she cuts it there. And the other person understands that what would follow is, so therefore you should tell me. But Japanese people don't say everything. They just say a little bit and they expect you to figure the rest out, which is tough at times. So, 絶対言わないから definitely not say because, or let's flip it, because I will definitely not say it. I wouldn't tell anybody about this thing. 絶対言わないから definitely will not say it.
言ったら100万円あげるよ。
言ったら100万円あげるよ. So, 言ったら is the conditional form of you, which means to say again, the verb again. So, 言ったら, it's the trick to make this to make a verb into the if verb form is you take the casual past tense and you put the la on the end. So, you in its past tense is 言った. So, 言った plus la becomes 言ったら. If say, if I say. So, you to say, 言ったら if I say. 言ったら100万円. That's a big number. To be honest, I don't know exactly how much money that is, but it's a lot of money anyway. 100万円. I think, as far as I remember, man is the counter that has 4 zeros after a given number. So that means 100 followed by 4 zeros. And then N is the Japanese currency. So that's how much. 言ったら100万円あげるよ. I'm gonna give 言ったら if I say. Notice she doesn't say the word I, but it's inferred in the sentence. So 言ったら if I say, if I tell 100万円 I'm gonna あげるよ. あげる means to give. So if I say I'm gonna give you 100万円.
本当?
本当? That's a really cool word. It means really. the textbook version would say, the polite version would be 本当ですか? Is it really so? Is that real? Is that really the case? But like we talked about in previous episodes, what you can do in a casual relationship is you can take all that ですか, じゃありません, では, all those particles and put them somewhere where you don't need to use them and just use your intonation to make something clear as a question. So instead of saying 本当ですか, you can just say 本当? Just like we talked about in the chocolate episode about おいしい? Or どう? 本当? So, 本当? Really? Are you really not going to tell anybody? Are you really going to give me 100万円 if you tell anybody? That sounds like you're a really trustworthy person. There's no way you're going to pay me that much money just if you accidentally told someone about the secret.
絶対だからね。
絶対だからね. The way that she says it, I don't know how a person can make that sound with their throat and mouth. It's... How do they... Jesus, how does that work? Anyway, 絶対だからね. 絶対, again, definitely. 絶対だから, da means to be, so it is definitely. から means because, so because it is definitely. Because this thing is a definite thing. You just said you would definitely not tell anybody, so because this is definitely thing. And then again, in Japanese way, because it's a definite thing, the follow-up never comes. I know this is annoying, this is a bit advanced, but that's the way Japanese people speak. You would almost think sometimes they're doing it on purpose just to confuse our gaijins, but I don't think they are. They just speak that way. So, 絶対だからね. Ne means, it's like saying right or isn't it in English. It's a way of making sure that the other person understands or agrees with what you're saying. So, 絶対だからね, because this is definitely okay. So you're definitely not going to say it, okay? This is an ultimate thing. 絶対だからね. I know it's an annoying translation, but that's how it works. Again, those sounds. Who makes these sounds? You know what? If I had $1 million, what I would do is okay, let's not get into that. Let's just move on. Means I wasn't going to say anything crazy. I was going to say I would hire a voice actor and I would have that person speak in cool things in all these voices that you should not be able to make, and I would animate some stuff myself and make some cool stuff out of it. I might make my own animation one day. We'll see. I'll get back to you guys in 10 years about that. She says which is a long version of which is the casual version of hai, which means yes. So 絶対だからね, it's a definite thing. You're not going to tell anyone. Yes. I'm not going to tell anyone.
たかしくん。
Takashi-kun. So Takashi is a pretty common Japanese name. Kun is a suffix you can put on someone's name, usually young boys. It has a cuter feel to it than just saying their name. Most people will be familiar with the Chan version as well, which is more commonly put on girls' names. So she refers to this guy as Takashi-kun.
ちょっとみんな聞いて。
ちょっとみんな聞いて. So ちょっと means a little bit. みんな means everybody. 聞いて is the te form of 聞く, which means to listen. And like I said a minute ago, if you take a verb in its te form and just use it like that, it becomes a soft imperative. It's a soft way of asking someone to do something. You have the proper order form, the imperative form, which is 聞け, listen up. But you will pretty much never use the imperative form. If you look up in a dictionary on how to ask someone to do something, sometimes it will say, it will refer you to the imperative form, which is 聞け, or やれ. Don't use that. It's that simple. Just don't use that grammar unless you know exactly what you're doing and the other person understands that you're joking to some extent. Instead, what I would recommend is when you ask people to do stuff, either ask permission using kudasai or kureru or moraitai or itadakimasu or anything, and all the casual version would be, this is my point, use the te form. Don't use the imperative, use the te form. 聞いて, listen. 食べて, eat. 行って, go. 喋って, talk. 飛んで, jump, anything. But use the te form when you ask people to do stuff. So, ちょっとみんな聞いて. ちょっと, a little bit, みんな, everybody. So everybody, listen a little. Everybody, listen to me a little bit.
ユミタカシくんのことが好きなんだって。
Yumi Takashi-kun no koto ga suki nan datte. Again, we're moving into a bit of advanced stuff here. The sentence structure is moving away from the normal textbook stuff. So, Yumi, we've lost our particles. Sorry guys, we lost our particles. So normally you would say Yumi wa about Yumi, but we lost the wa particle. So it's just Yumi Takashi-kun. So Yumi Takashi-kun no koto. No is the sort of putting an S on a word, the possessive particle. Koto is a thing in the more abstract. So the thing that is Takashi, the thing that is Takashi. We lost another particle. We should have had a ga here. What you normally say is, for example, watashi wa ringo ga suki desu. Watashi wa indicating the topic. I, about me, ringo, an apple. Ga indicating the subject of the sentence. Suki desu, like. So, about me, an apple, like. I like an apple. But what can happen is the Japanese, just as you have picked up all the great particles, they're going to throw them all out the window. So that's what happens here. So, Yumi no wa Takashi-kun no koto. About the thing that is Takashi-kun. Suki nan datte. Suki means to like. Nan datte of... This is a very short, casual version of letting people know that this is something that Yumi said. It's a quote. The thing is, when you quote something, you put the to particle and then usually the you afterwards. So, for example, Victor said that he's tired. So, Victor wa tsukareteiru to iimashita. He said that he's tired. To iimashita. That's what he said. To. I'm just repeating myself now. To iimashita. So, you put the to iimasu. The very casual, perhaps not in the books, version of the to particle is te, which is just a small t and then a te. And the nan indicates that you're giving a bit of an explanation as well. It makes it all sound a bit more explanatory. So instead of saying, suki da to iimashita, she just says, suki nan datte, and the whole iimashita has gone away as well. So how do we make this simple and manageable? What you can do in a super casual situation, when you quote someone, you could say what they said and then datte. And that means, so that's what they said. So let's think of an example. John said that this is an apple. I know there's no apple. Maybe we'll edit in editing. So John said that this is an apple. John wa, about John, これが this thing, リンゴ apple, だって is said. So he said that this is an apple. I know this is complicated. This is advanced Japanese, and it will bother you a lot if you're not familiar with it yet, or at least I assume it will, because it bothered me a lot, and now that it finally starts to make sense, it's becoming rather cool. You know, it's like the cool tricks in sport. You hate when other people do it when you don't do it, but once you get it, you won't stop doing it. Or like a combo in a game or something. 好きなんだって. So she says that she likes Takashi-kun. Sorry, they weren't saying anything. I was just watching the episode now, to be completely honest. So that's what happens in that little clip. It's a bit of a longer episode once again. A lot of stuff here. I know it's rather complicated, so I've been told. I know it is, and I will also try and go through something that is a little less weird and strange, a little less deformed and super casual and slang infected. I will get into that, but I do think it is interesting to look at how crazy Japanese gets when they are not thinking about what gaijins can follow at all, which they often do not do in their anime shows that are clearly targeted at native Japanese speakers. So this is as crazy as it gets. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'll be back in another one, hopefully with something a bit shorter and less complicated, but I really wanted to show this clip also because I do enjoy the show. It's a good show. It's called Nichijou, which means ordinary or just life as it is ordinarily lived. So that's a recommendation if you can find it online, or perhaps you can buy a DVD. Copyright people, buy the DVD. So hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching. If you have recommendations for shows that you think I should check out and find interesting language to explain in, do leave your recommendations below in the comments. And once again, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day.